So we're here today with Phil from The Run In. Thanks for joining me, Phil. He's going to share a little bit about the importance of choosing the right shoe when you're exercising, and then the consequences of wearing the wrong shoe and what can happen. So if you want to share some tips or points on what shoe or what we should be looking for.
Especially when they come back from pregnancy or an injury or that sort of situation, especially when you're carrying a bit of extra weight, you need to think about the what sort of exercise you're going to be doing, and be very specific when you go to the shoe salesman, especially here, and give us a real good idea of what you're going to do. Two things we do here: we have a look at your feet and make sure, and perhaps your old shoes, and get an idea of the wear pattern from that. And some of the symptoms, if you buy the $20 Kmart specials, they probably last you a week, and then you start to get, sore feet, or the knee hurts or something for some reason because the shoe's not giving you the stability, and they just don't have any lasting effect. The ethyl vinyl acetate, which is the midsole of the shoe, is very poor, and they just use a poor quality midsole, normally a hard midsole, so therefore it's pretty hard to run on when you get out there on the pavement. And the whole trick of coming back from that sort of injury is to go very steady and work your way back very slowly. We found with cancer patients, when they come back too quick, they get injured, or they don't keep the enthusiasm up. They'll come back and do their marathon 6 months after some major treatment, and then they disappear off the scene.
Yeah.
We've always found that people who take their time coming back, I speak from experience in that particular area, you get back into it much easier, and it takes a lot longer to lose that enthusiasm than you get back into it.
Take your time to
come back, build back into it. And think about your posture. That's a lot of the problem we've noticed with females who have come back from injuries, and because our group here has a lot of females in it who have had children like in the last 2 or 3 years, and we find that the posture is the problem. They tend to carry the child on one side all the time, tend to slouch or don't feel comfortable when they stand up because they're obviously carrying a bit of weight, and they don't want to go out in public and look at that, so they slouch over to try and protect themselves against that sort of situation.
Yeah.
So realistically, they've got to learn to be tall when they walk, and carry the child on both sides, and be alternative. Swap it over regularly, because obviously you'll end up, with some curvature of the spine or some sort of muscular problems in the back, and make sure you listen to your physios when you've come back from, especially if you've had a really long labour. All those muscles are stretched, and it takes an awful long time to get them right again. Especially when you've first time females who are coming back to running marathons, we've noticed the injuries that occur in that sort of region are prominent because they haven't listened.
Because they say your ligaments do stretch a lot and get very soft.
Hugely stretch. And especially when you're pregnant, because your body allows you to do that, and the hormones that are running around your body allow that situation. So that's the real trick of coming back from training, is to start by going for a walk, and if once you can walk an hour comfortably and talk to someone, then introduce your running.
Yeah.
Don't bring the running in straight away, because you'll end up there.
That's why we're live.
The phone's ringing in the background. That's really handy.
So if you pick the wrong shoes when you're coming back, is there some things that you will happen for picking the wrong shoes?
Yeah, look, you can end up with sore knees, sore hips. That's the big thing. That's why we have a look at your feet and your old shoes. If you're a pronator, you make sure you pick a shoe that's in that sort of particular area. Don't go on colour. Don't go, and always try to have a price point when you do walk in to buy a pair of shoes. It's like buying a bike. You walk in and say, I'll take any bike. Well, the salesman's going to take you up straight away and push you up to the top of the range. So realistically, you need to think about what sort of running you're going to do, or what sort of action you're going to be doing. Whether you're going to be doing park runs on a Saturday morning and just 5k, and you can spend $160 or you can spend $300, and it really comes down to what you want to do in the situation. But the injuries, yes, that's what you've got to watch out for, and overdoing it, that's more the problem, I think.
So is there a time frame? I know my husband runs a lot and runs marathon, and he has his shoes should last long. So is there a kind of a time frame when we should be looking at replacing?
Yeah, look, we work on a situation that we say 12 months. If you've had a pair of shoes for 12 months, it's a very good chance that it's lost its cushioning and it's starting to wear out. We have people come in after 5 years and say that these shoes were great, and you look at them and go, you're only 5 years old, so you probably should have changed some time ago. And we're all guilty of keeping the shoe for too long. one of our suggestions is that once you start running again and you find a shoe that's suitable, go and buy another pair. And then you've got 2 pairs so you can alternate.
Yeah.
It's not false economy, it's very good economy because 90% of the time you'll get 50% longer out of your shoes. And then you haven't got to be forking out all the time. And once one shoe starts to go away, buy another pair. And one expense in running and walking is that good footwear is always reasonably cheap compared with physios
And it all flows up.
yeah, and not being able to do it. That mental strain of not being able to go out the door and do what you want to do. And
Or doing it and thinking, well, it hurts, I don't want to do it
that's exactly
anymore.
right. Yeah, and that and enjoy that, and try and find if you like training by yourself, go and find some pleasant areas to train. I mean, the bike paths are fantastic around here. Just got to be a little bit cautious about wearing headsets and what time of day you go because they are very dark, and
Yeah.
the safety factor is pretty high in our priority here. That's why we probably have so many females running our groups.
So cool. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing with us today, Phil. The Run In will have their details on the bottom of the screen, so you can contact them if you need some shoes or want to join their running group. You're also doing Bribey Try this weekend?
Yeah, well, we've put a lot of events on the Glasshouse Trail series, which a lot of people walk in as well. So we've got a pretty busy schedule in that sort of area. But thanks for having us.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries.